Hello, welcome to Cloverlands in the listed Montgomery Institute. This building was given to the town in 1923 by Lord Davis of Llandinham, a former farmer known as Top Sawyer who became a Mid-Wales railway pioneer in Victorian times and a very wealthy man. Wow, what a collection! It started in 2015 when custodian Bruce Lawson wrote a biography on Charles Rolls, pioneer aviator and motorist, and interviewed our patron motoring historian Gillian Rogers, and then discovered her incredible collection of 1,500 models. These were scarcely visited. The earliest model was from 1950 and the rest were in a barn on her premises. The biggest model 4 feet across and the smallest the size of a thumbnail. Gillian agreed to them being put on display here and Cloverlands was born. Cloverlands was named in memory of Clover, a beloved mongrel pup raised by Gillian. The sprightly octogenarian was born in the year Brooklands famous racing circuit closed, i.e. in 1939. And the collection started when Gillian was given 2 gifts for her 11th birthday, an early Alvis and a Jaguar. She has a cardex for every car that she ever purchased, saying when, where and how much, these going back to the mid-50s. Gillian made models, self-taught, and was a pupil of Rex Hayes, who made models for the Queen and her sister Margaret. Gillian made those splendid Bentleys from kits. She won many prizes at the Bugatti Trust, who owned Prescott Hill Climb near Cheltenham, and became a petrolhead before Jeremy Clarkson was even thought of. She worked for a South Coast motor dealer as a storekeeper before ladies did that sort of thing, but used the time she was there to buy and refurbish a handsome Singer Le Mans, a replica of which we have on display. She drove Rosebud, as the car is known, to the Le Mans itself for the 24-hour race and to the Nürburgring, driving alone and camping by the track. She drove the car for 40 years from 1958 and still sends the car, now in East Anglia, and its owner a Christmas card every year. High around the room you can see a collection of Texas number plates owned by a donor from Llanbryn, Wales, who also gave us the display of mint boxed dinkies. We have a number of land speed record cars, shades of Henry Seagrave, Sir Malcolm Campbell and John Cobb, who raised the record from a tasty 134 to a manic 370 miles per hour between the wars. You can see a splendid Jack Vetriano picture of Campbell, father of Donald. This was taken at Bonneville Salt Flats, where several land speed records were set. Pity we don't have the original picture. It was sold for £400,000 more than a decade ago. Be careful with the Seabury collection from Broseley. All Russian cars, even the boxes are in Russian, so mind the nerve agent. Have you spotted the car in the bottle? How did it get there? Next are 1,000 Formula One cars going back through the years, given to us by a Liverpool collector. Next are some splendid mint and boxed articulated lorries. These belong to one of our custodians, Ian, who brought them from East Anglia, and next to them is a Dirac, which starred in the film classic Genevieve, sparking a growing interest in old cars. At the end of the aisle, great American cars, some purchased by Neil, our Telford custodian, from a chess grandmaster in the Channel Islands. Gillian's unique collection, however, encircles most of the room, with her 2 original models featured next to a delivery of Royal Mail vans, which is next to a charming diorama and our Hot Wheels cars. The hot air balloon hovering above the collection is in memory of Charles Rolls. He spent Sunday mornings from 1901 making some 200 balloon flights. His brave passengers, no air ambulance then, often paid a high price for their outing with him. High altitude pressure salesman may be, but often he would land with a signed sales motorcar order, perhaps for a Rolls Royce. Eventually we ran out of room and acquired another, and in this is the Canadian Hardy collection, a major attraction to baby boomers. You can probably see the car you first learned to drive in. Mine was a Ford Anglia 205, and among the 300 British cars are 2 Daimlers bearing the royal standard. The Queen would have been but 3 years old when these were delivered to the palace. The Fiat Topolino is a replica of a car driven by Gillian's sister Valerie. On rainy days the ladies would go to work in this, and on the dry days in the open top Singer, with a brolly in the back just in case. The Fiat shares the table with Cloette. As you can see from her original drawings, this was built by Gillian, except for the radiator, and is based on a 20s French Citroën Cloverleaf. The car has an unusual boat tail. We believe Cloette was the inspiration for Brum, a children's TV series between 1991 and 2002. It used to escape from its Cotswold Museum overnight, like Bagpuss, for various adventures, usually chasing criminals, then returning demurely the next day, no questions asked. The TV voice of Brum was the fine actress, rock star, folk singer Toyah Willcox. Brum was at one time kidnapped from its home in Llanfyllin, and after an extensive police search through southern England and France, was recovered, no questions asked. We do not know whether a ransom was paid. Other models in the room include James Bond's DB5. More models were produced on this than anything else save for the Batmobile. Some 4 million of those were made. Also in the room is a wooden Rolls-Royce and a model of the original Benz used by Carl Benz's fiancée. This was for her epic journey across Germany to publicise his invention. She drove in this contraption with 2 young children 70 miles, the furthest any man or woman had driven in the world, in 1886, and 10 years before the first car was seen in Wales. Cloverlands has been described by James Mann, renowned motorcar photographer, in Automobile as a classic shrine, a hidden gem. Come and see for yourself. We are moving shortly and thought it appropriate to record this tribute to all our sponsors and friends, particularly our patron Gillian Rogers, in our first special home. We hope to move on to an even more exciting location, attracting thousands of children, car clubs and transport-loving adults.